Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's JJ. So if let's say you're looking to generate passive income off the cryptocurrency space itself, and of course there's a lot of options like Ethereum 2.0 staking, and after the Bitcoin Lightning Node, and after that running like validators or master nodes here and there. But on this video itself, we're gonna focus on Bitcoin Lightning nodes itself. So I'm gonna give you a simple introduction video of this Bitcoin Lightning nodes, and of course on my own personal experience, and of course on my end itself. I have been running the nodes for around 5 months plus, and after that, I'm going to show you some of the stats behind it. And after that, from there, you can consider if let's say you want to dive deeper into this rabbit hole. So without further ado, if let's say you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly leave a thumbs up to this video, subscribe, and after that, from there, check out my Patreon, which is linked down below. And after that, I appreciate all the support that you guys give. So over here, we're going to jump into the topic itself, talking about what is this Bitcoin Lightning node first. So over here, there's an article here talking about what is Lightning Network in Bitcoin and how does it work. And of course, there's a very lengthy of this Bitcoin Lightning Node explanation, but I'm just going to keep it simple for you. So Bitcoin Lightning Node itself is basically, we know that Bitcoin itself is a layer 1 solution. When you send a transaction, it will take you around 10 minutes or even 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast the miners manage to basically resolve a block / find a block. So over here is around estimated to be on average 10 minutes, but over here is somehow when you send a Bitcoin transaction itself, we know that the fee itself is going to cost you a lot of money. Therefore, people are trying to use Bitcoin as a payment method. Therefore, if let's say you're going to buy a cup of coffee, which costs you only $1.20, you do not want to pay a fee of $1.20, basically same or even double of this amount of to transact this $1.20 to the merchant. So Lightning Node has been created, it has been born. And after that, from there, instead of doing every network on chain itself, it is going to do it off chain, basically like a layer 2 solution to basically transact transaction itself very fast. And after that, from there, it can handle millions to billions of transactions per second on the Bitcoin Lightning node. And after that, it seems like a magical thing, but of course, we're going to dive into it. And of course, we're going to see, is it profitable to run? So to handle this type of transaction itself, we have to basically trust the Lightning node network. You have to use another type of system that is the layer 2 itself to download the wallet, then after that connect to the Lightning node, and there's quite a complication. I would say for Lightning network itself, it's very complicated to run, it's very complicated to understand, but over here it's made it simple on the channel itself. So we're gonna dive into this passive income stuff itself. Is it profitable to run the Lightning network node for those who are just in for the money? So I would say in for the money itself, to be honest, I am also in for the money in crypto. Who isn't in for the money in crypto? Therefore, I would say, but of course, running this itself, it might not be profitable as you might think, like running a Bitcoin miner or something like that, because ASIC machine costs 10 to even $20,000 to run an ASIC machine, and of course, costs like lots of electricity. Therefore, the reward is much more lucrative over there. But over here, this over here does not require you to run like a hardcore hardware software to basically mine Bitcoin or something like that. Instead, you're just doing like a validator, like a Ethereum validator instead, opening up channels and stuff like this to transact with the Lightning Network. And of course, with people routing through your net channel itself, you are able to earn a little bit of fee, but the fee itself is set by you. Therefore, you can basically determine if you want to be like an asshole charging tons of money instead, or just want to do like supporting the network itself to adopt the Bitcoin Lightning Network, which I am trying to do in the middle instead of doing it for free. But of course, doing it slightly to cover the cost, I would say, not to make like tons of profit. So we can look over here how to run this Lightning Network node itself. Is basically telling you what is the Lightning Network node. Then after that, how does Lightning node work within the Lightning Network? You want to have a read, I'm going to link it down below. So how to run a Bitcoin Lightning node. Then after that, therefore, we can scroll down itself, how to operate a profitable Lightning node. So over here, there's some consideration over here. So you have to know that to be lucrative itself, you need to set your own nodes charge basically low enough that you will be considered affordable to by the network. But if you charge high enough, it turned out to be one of the best way to earn passive income in crypto. But over here, we have to understand that if let's say you want to have tons of transaction going through your nodes itself, you will basically need to set a lower fee itself. Therefore, people are willing to use the network, your channel itself, to basically route transactions, and after that, from there, you will earn a little bit of fees. But over here, there's a catch. If let's say you are setting your network fee high enough, basically you can generate passive income through the network itself. But of course, if let's say you are new onto this Lightning Network node itself, you might be thinking that, hey, how do I like make a profit? So I'm going to show you basically my end of the dashboard itself on Lightning LNDG. So here LNDG itself, they have a profit and loss tab over there. I'm just going to show it to you. So the lifetime itself, payments routed, I have routed almost 4,000, almost 5,000. worth of transaction, and the value itself is around 3 Bitcoin plus. Then after that, the revenue I have generated is around 14,000. Then the on-chain cost and the off-chain cost, then the percentage cost, then this is the total profit. So honestly, I have put in around 0.6 Bitcoin onto the network, and of course, as of today itself, you can see my total balance is this amount plus some of the balance in the Lightning terminal itself, 5 million satoshis. So I would say that ultimately I'm in the negative zone. Plus, so I'm gonna plus 5 million over here. Then I have put in around 60 million. So this is the loss that I've incurred by basically testing and after that doing stuff like transacting on-chain, off-chain, and after that basically doing testing on the network itself for the first 5 months. So this is the loss that I've made around 425,000 worth of satoshi. So if you want to convert it, it's around 0.04 if I'm not wrong. So the loss that have been made for five months itself on transaction fees itself is around $117 if you want to count it by US dollar. But of course, if you divide it by Bitcoin itself, it's around 0.004 Bitcoin that has been lost on transacting and stuff like this. So is it profitable to run this node itself? To be honest, on my experience itself, I don't find it really profitable or lucrative to run the Lightning node. But of course, to basically be a part of this Lightning network adoption and after the acceleration of this amazing technology, I have been running the network, and after that, from there, why am I like even still running a Lightning network as of today? So number one, over here, I'm still in the learning phase, therefore I can't really make a profit out of it, but I can generally increase my basically transaction fees to basically cover up the cost and everything. But eventually, I'm still learning as of today. Up almost 6 months, I'm still learning about the Lightning network because it is very complicated and it's kind of time consuming to understand everything. So in the future itself, I'm going to dive in more about Lightning networks, and after that, from there, tell you how to run it, how to set it up, and of course, some of the basic fundamental stuff that I truly understand before I share it with you guys. So if you want to, subscribe to the channel, totally free, and after that, support my Patreon if you are interested in that. So over here, why am I still even running this network itself? Number one itself, when I look at Emboss itself, I see that my network itself is at a terminal of like basically rank 836. So there's around 17,500 nodes running this Lightning network. But of course, eventually, magically, I managed to make it to like 800 over ranking itself, which is an achievement for me. I feel proud. And after that, from there, to be honest, to be on the Lightning network with my SC Crypto brand itself, I would say exciting stuff to see my page all over here. And after that, from there, you can see the channel rank, capacity rank, and stuff like this. Is almost at the top 1,000. It is like a leaderboard climbing, and after that, from there, I'm interested to be there. Therefore, I would say I'm still running it, and after that, from there, we can see that this over here is opening channels with people, and after that, I'm at the gold node as of now with this Lightning Network Plus. So over here, the profitability itself, I would say this over here is just a small project to understand the ecosystem, dive into it, and after that, from there, understand how it works and stuff like this. Not really making a killing or profit out of it, but of course, eventually in the future, I might be able to do that if I understand the whole ecosystem correctly, and after that, basically educate you guys. So if let's say you're interested in running the nodes itself, you can basically connect to my channel over here on Emboss. You can just type in SC Crypto on Emboss. If let's say you know about Lightning Network or you are already into Lightning Network, you can support the channel by opening a channel with me on like the Lightning Network. So should you get started on this Bitcoin Lightning Network, so I would say itself, the Lightning Network itself is very complicated, and after that, there's lots of studies to be done, and of course, it's kind of time consuming. If let's say you wish to basically dive into the network itself, you can dive it with me, and of course, do some research all around YouTube. There's a lot of tutorial talking about it, but over here, you have to understand that the Lightning Network itself is not like your private keys that you can just store it, and after that, if let's say you accidentally deleted your nodes, it is gonna be a hard way to retrieve the funds itself. I'm gonna explain it in the future video. But over here, I will just tell you the warning itself of starting a Lightning Network node itself is not as simple as creating a wallet with 12 or 24 words. Then after that, just plug the 24 words somewhere else to retrieve your funds. It is far more complicated than that. And of course, I believe there is improvement being made on the Lightning Network. And of course, the developers are basically making it more user-friendly, making it more easier to understand as time goes by. And of course, from there, I'm using Embro. Basically, what is this like? Embro. Yeah, basically this ecosystem, this software itself, which is basically a personal service OS to basically host the Lightning nodes and after that other stuff itself. So if let's say you're interested in, you can check them out. And after that, I would say this over here is one of the two goals. to run your Lightning node itself. If let's say you have additional hardware that is lying around, or let's say you have unused resources, you can basically boot up a virtual machine to basically run Embrace itself. Then after that, you can even install it on a Raspberry Pi 4. And after that, I would say do totally understand how it works first before you dump your satoshis into it. So for my case, I risked around 0.6 Bitcoin to basically test the network out, and after that, from there, eventually get a ranking over there. It's quite satisfying to get a ranking, and after that, stuff like this, knowing that you're top 1000 in the whole ecosystem, and after that, there's almost 17,000 nodes that is running, but of course, you're at top 1000. Quite fulfilling, and of course, I would say I've been pausing myself by opening channel and stuff like this. So I've really been on the market for 5 months. So if you're interested in, feel free to open up your notes with me. Your channel with me. If let's say you are interested, or you are already running, or you understand how it works, feel free to do so. If let's say you do not understand, please wait for more updates or do your own research before diving into it. So I'm gonna see you on the next one. If you like it, kindly smash the like button, subscribe, and of course check out my Patreon. It helps me out a lot. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.